I am here, or this beingness is here. Something is here, here now. This just pure awareness and knowing. Yes, something is. Yes. Okay. So that space, that openness, or that receptivity is on. And then in that receptivity, there are many things happening, like this physical body with all the pains and cells and digestion and hair growing and all the needs of the body and food and everything is going on. It's always being noticed. It's present, right? And then it's not just this physical body, there is emotional body or emotional structure where all the hurts and pains and hopes live, like they're felt in the central, from head, throat, heart, belly, kind of here, sometimes in the back. It doesn't happen in the hands or feet. I don't notice that emotion and sadness would be in the hand. It's more like here, right? So there is definitely this emotional structure, emotional body that is also seen and perceived in that space. And then there is a mental structure, which is around here. Like we all know where the thoughts are happening. It's not in the foot or elbow, it's around here mostly. So this mental structure is beliefs, ideas, memories, imaginations. And it's also here. You notice that by thoughts that arise and by images that arise. It's like two streams of information. One visual, some people don't imagine, that's fine, they feel it differently. But there are usually words and images. Left side, right side brain kind of work together. So this is a mental body or mind. We call it mind. Okay. Then there is, let's say, another body like an astral body, the body that is invisible, but it's a dream body, something that shows up in a dream, or some people can astral travel or have out of body experiences, that subtle bodies. And how many of them are there? Who knows? I mean, how attuned your antennas are, how receptivity is working here in this experience. But yeah, there is a dream body. It's not the same as physical or mental or emotional. Then there is a connection or spiritual aspect, spiritual structure, which informs us about feeling one with God or one with the universe or one with everything, or feeling that everything is love and beauty and that kind of structure. It's either on, that yes, I know that, I see that, or off, I feel separated, I'm not cared by God, I'm not supported by life, and I'm here on my own, I have to make things happen. That spiritual aspect is another structure. So these are just a few I mentioned, but okay, there is DNA, there are cell structures, there's nervous system. There are so many things going on in the space of awareness. So the space of awareness, this beingness, is where everything happens. And everything is designed by nature to work in balance and harmony with itself. Like if you look at this like ecosystem, like everything is balanced out, everything is working. But now our bodies, not just physical, emotional, mental, our bodies have been traumatized by experiences in life. And these traumatized parts, they are like scars. Like if you cut yourself and it heals, but there's a scar, there's some harder, more painful maybe place on the body. So there are scars in the emotional body and in the mental body. So when something is hurting in one of these structures, all they want is to come back to the center to heal, because when its organism is alive, it has this ability to heal by itself. That's nature. That's how we know it's alive. Because let's say my phone cannot heal if I break it, but the body can, right? So this aliveness is the natural ability to self-heal, right? So now let's look again. If there are scars or hurts or wounds in any of these bodies, in these structures, then these wounds, they naturally want to heal, and they are healing. And healing means that maybe that part of me is out there. I don't want to look at it like this. No, I don't want to see it. But if you look at it, it's allowed, it's seen. Attention goes there, and that wound starts to close down and heal. And the energy of that scar comes back to the center, comes back into circulation, and is working as intended, properly aligned with the rest of the system. So all these wounds that are still here, invisible and invisible, they just want attention. And if that attention is given freely without trying to make it go away, whatever that is, but if it's like, oh, I'm curious now, I'm interested, what is there? How does it work? What's going on here? That attention kind of meets the natural ability to heal, and something happens. It clears. It dissolves the wound. It returns back to the wholeness. So I think this is how our systems now are on the healing process, on the coming back to wholeness, or we can call it embodiment, or whatever. Emotional clearing, spiritual healing. You know, if you look at this, how many layers, so many things seen and unseen, that we don't even know how many layers are out there, how many bodies are out there. For most of my life, maybe not most of my life, but I thought it was just a physical. That's it. Yeah, I'm this body, I'm this physical being, I'm driving this body. And even though there are these words, I have emotions, I have thoughts, it was just identified and taken for my beingness until poof, the beingness is not in the body is in beingness, the emotions are in beingness. Everything that is showing up is here for me to see. And that knowing is not some kind of individual entity that sees, but rather this aware space, that aware receptivity that is able to meet with attention, that attention is able to meet and let everything be. And that's the magic, because then everything naturally starts coming back into the right place, into the right order. So when some interesting emotion arises and feels tense, it's like, oh, it's my turn now. I want some attention. Give me attention. Oh, okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
And this particular contraction that I just felt, Ilona, even if I go to physical doctor, they cannot, I don't think they can test this with any of the devices that they have. This is definitely not physical. This is, as you said, like this is another layer that only I can feel. And it has no words at all. It's just something that only this particular thing can feel. And it cannot be tested with anything that man has invented. It's like that. So, yeah, I just wanted to share it.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
That's the playground. That's the ride. Wonderful. Thank you. I'm gonna put on some light. One second. Please, who else would like to step in for sharing? Yay! Please, please.
Man, I've been sitting here kind of scared. Like, I don't know if I want to share. So I said I better so I can see what shows up. Um, so this morning I had a random thought come up, and the feeling in the body was like shame. And so I stopped to turn into it like you've taught, to identify it, like where in the body is it. And I can't find it's shame, and then I started looking for other memories that would bring up the same feeling, and I want to call it shame, but I can't locate it. It feels like it's everywhere, and um, when it shows up, or like when it showed up this morning, it was just like a passing thought, and then the body was like. I don't know if that happens to people where you have a memory or something that brings up shame and you just go, ugh, like that. But it was like a reaction. But then I stopped and I was like, whoa. And then I just kind of settled into the body to find it, and it was gone. And I realized that I have that experience from time to time. And I guess my question is, I can't seem to apply the teachings of deep looking
That's
because it
so
just seems like
interesting.
it
That's so
like comes
interesting
and it
because
just.
you did.
Oh, I did.
You just said you just sat there, you were looking at it, trying to find it, identify it, and it was gone. That's it.
Oh, oh, okay. I guess I was had the expectations of it going through a big process.
Sometimes it's needed, but not always.
Oh,
It's instantaneous. As soon as you turn attention to that, you can
yeah,
self-resolve as quickly as that.
okay.
And
All
when
right.
you,
Well, that's good.
okay, but let's just test it. If you have the same thought that brought all this
Mhm.
energy in, does it still feel the same?
No, actually, what I felt was anger,
Mhm.
like, but directed at myself. Like, hang on. Let
Yeah,
me
just
see
think
what.
that thought and zoom in and see
Yeah,
what's going on.
I've been on it since the whole time I've been sitting here. I was just trying to get the courage to ask. So I kept going back to the thought, and yeah, hang on. Yeah, it feels like, how can you be so stupid
Okay.
like that? Like, um, but it's not. It's not regret so much as um, yeah. The thing is that the whole thing falls apart because I can also see that the capacity for something else to be just wasn't available at the time, so it kind of just falls apart. But it feels like something internal wants to make like a line and says no more.
Wow. Wonderful.
Yeah,
So it's
like
not a
I've been
bad
feeling
thing.
this. No, I've been feeling this more and more. It's like as I look in, it becomes so obvious, like how much shame I've carried. And it's been like put in by life, just what happened, like not just from childhood, little things like you do something and then you're told by an adult, don't do that or something, and then you feel shame. And I've been trying to distinguish the difference between remorse, which I would say is the system telling you, well, that sucked, don't do that again. Or shame, which feels heavy and personal, like I'm a piece of shit kind of feeling. Or yeah, it just, there's something about it that feels different. So I've been trying to distinguish, like as I explore traumas and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But what's become really obvious is how much shame, like about everything, it seems, especially religious shame, like it's like literally making shame into a virtue. Like if
Mm-hmm.
you feel bad and you're shameful, then you're a good person. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone, but it feels kind of like
Okay, let's look into it. If you feel shame, that means you're a good person.
yes. Yeah, that
Okay,
doesn't make any sense.
so what is a good person?
The story is like taking on other beliefs and living out what other people consider to be good behavior in society. Like if you feel something that goes against that, but it's a feeling that shows up, then that's a shameful feeling. So it's like constantly shaming yourself for things.
And that
So this opened up.
yeah, and that means you're a good person. I mean, how does this being good person ties in with shame, really?
Yeah. Hang on. Yeah, I got it wrong. It's not shame, it's guilt.
Guilt.
It's guilt. It's like okay, like I can give you like a scenario. This opened up from me exploring the dynamics that were put in place with religion. And so it's like I open a can of worms.
Big can of worms.
Yeah, so all this stuff is showing up. And like, you're presented with the situation and then someone says, oh, poor thing, that's such a horrible thing. And but you're not feeling that. You're like, you either don't give a shit or you're just not feeling that. If you don't feel that, then you're a bad person. You're supposed to feel uh it's like being told what you should feel.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then either guilt and shame set in when your internal experience doesn't mesh
Mm-hmm.
what you're being taught.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was being taught in a religious setting what behavior should be, how, it's like completely fake. And so coming out of that fakeness, now memories coming up, and it's just like, ugh,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, yeah, like, oh my God, that's like so stupid, like just uncomfortable in the body. But I can't. My original question was that because I thought I had to feel it in like a specific spot in the body. But it's like fire. It's just like, and then, but it's everywhere. You know what I mean? I can't find it, but it's just like, and it's really uncomfortable. So I don't even know if I have a question anymore. I guess I just wanted to know if, I guess what came in after, because you know how things happen and then the mind comes back with some explanation and then I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I get lost in thought. And what my mind was saying is, you're doing it wrong
Mm-hmm.
because you're supposed to go in, find it in the body, watch it move, talk to it. So like I already
Oh,
had,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but you see, that's like, again, some outside authorities telling you how you should feel.
Yeah.
It's just the same pattern, but that mechanism, that loop in the head is saying that I should feel what somebody else tells me to feel, or how it should be for me. Yeah, scrap that. That's nonsense.
That is really clear. That's the pattern. Like, that makes me so sad. Like all this sadness just showed up. Like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, but the moment that something shows up or that happens, that's where it's living. That's when it's got free.
oh,
Because let's say 20 years ago, somebody told you should feel something, but you didn't. And you just were cringing at that even thought. Your body was like, oh, but you couldn't express that because it wasn't allowed, because you have to be a good woman, a good girl. And that stayed in there. But now it's coming through. Like that thought brings it out, the energy shakes out, that done, finished. So it's nothing else that you need to feel. You're already feeling what you need to feel. That's it.
yeah. Yeah, you hear these pointings and sorry, my cats are fighting next to me. um, I was just gonna make a comment that just I just realized it's like an actual experience when all this stuff is applied and when things show up, like we're learning. It's not as linear or as clean as when we talk about it when it's pointed out. And it seems like I don't know, like the like in like the dismantling of the patterns always like it seems like it shows something else and then something else. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, very true. Because when one piece comes back home, then the next piece is like, I want to go home. And then the next piece, and then the next piece, and the next piece. Everything wants to come home. But until this one comes back, this one is still in the queue. I'm waiting. Maybe once this is here, I can return.
All right, so I think I'm gonna do this. I'm just trying to make a really see the pattern of having an external source tell me how it's supposed to be, how it's supposed to feel, because it feels like those expectations are actually um, what needs to be seen. This is kind of like in the way of allowing life to flow as it is here. It just feels like so uncomfortable because it's like just so new, like
Mhm.
it's almost like what I feel is to be held by the hand and told what to do. Okay, you're supposed to feel this, you're supposed to do this, you know what I mean? That's where those thoughts come of like, it's messy. It doesn't
Mhm.
seem, you know,
Okay, what
like
comes in to say, when a little baby, it just starts walking. So first thing, it's crawling on the ground and then reaches for the table, chair, and just pulls himself up and like standing a little bit wonky on the feet and falls again and just pulls up. Now, if there would be 25 instructors telling the baby how to walk, and how to put one leg up front of the other and how to reach. I mean, that baby doesn't even understand the language, but his body, his system knows. It's already installed that this body is going to walk. And it's just trial and error. Trial and error. Falling, standing up, walking, taking the first steps, running faster. The system knows. And these instructors, in baby's example, they don't work at all. But like in our adult situation, yes, the instructions are great. But it's you. Still, it's about your inner wisdom that already knows how to feel, how to think, how to see colors, and hear the sounds. You don't need to be taught that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like that hit home, like I feel it. And I also feel that when you said the word trial and error, the word error was a problem. It's like what it feels like not to make an error, like it isn't safe.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I see that that's yeah, I have to trust it. Yeah.
Your cats are not happy.
I can't tell what's going on. I don't know if they're fighting or loving, but they're just
The cats, they
sorry
don't
for
think
the
what to feel
distraction.
or how to express. They're just masters of that, right? Being themselves.
Yeah. You know what it's like? It's like it makes sense. Like I know that it's true, like somehow, but I also feel so much apprehension. So I
And
guess I'll
that's
just sit
what you
with that.
feel. And that's what you feel. And that's okay too. And this is the next thing that wants to heal with your attention.
Mm.
I think the biggest difficulty is seeing the closest thing that is right here. But we can't really focus here, can't see it. That's why the pointings are so good, because it brings attention to that something that is too close to see, or the blind spots that we don't see. By little, the system learns by trial and error. Literally, it's natural, normal. When you fail, you know you learn something. It's not bad, it's wonderful. So you know what doesn't work, you try something else.
Yeah,
And
that
that
makes
program
sense.
that says that you cannot fail, it's too close. It's too close. You can't see in it. You see through that. But look in it, into it. Error is bad. You shouldn't fail.
Yeah, I think it's because it's got identity all wrapped in it too.
Mm-hmm.
Like that which I am is a separate limited entity that can be hurt, that can be yeah, it feels like a wanting to be safe from the external. So you can't make a mistake. A mistake is painful. That's like what's in the system that needs to be like processed. I'm just gonna trust it because now I can see. Like when I'm in your presence, it's just clear. Like because I can see that none of it is true. Okay, you know what I mean? I can see that that it is patterns. Um, but just like this morning, when stuff happens, it's not this clear. Like I get lost in my head, and sometimes it lingers for a day. So I suppose it's not making that wrong.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm gonna
Welcome.
sit with this.
Sit with it. Mm. Okay.
I have a question.
Okay.
No, hello. Recently I was listening about this illusion of a separate self,
Mhm.
and that this is an idea which some moment has seen it as an idea, and it's how to say, this identification with this separate self starts to vanish. I guess maybe not for all time, but more and more. And even right now, I'm kind of having this experience uh, of having a distance between me and this separate self-identification. Let's call it like this. And still, I could say it feels like it is a maybe contraction. I don't know if it's the proper word, but there's some feeling of this idea of separateness.
Mhm.
And I wonder, is it natural to still feel it like this, or is it how to say? Is it evaporating through time, or is it natural to feel that, okay, this is this idea and it is part of me, maybe the idea that I am separate and I am not the, how to say, part of the whole, a bigger whole. So, yeah, I don't know if it's clear, but I just was wondering about your experience because I guess you do you still identify your, I don't know, separate self feeling, or is it gone forever?
It's very, very interesting because there is no separate self feeling.
Ah,
What you're feeling is contraction, tension,
yeah.
muscular tension, some kind of emotion. It's not a
Okay.
separate self feeling.
Hmm.
How do you know this feeling is a separate self?
Maybe if for me it feels like it is connected to personality. It's like if I, how to say, yeah, if I feel more, let's say, wider feeling of being part of something bigger, I don't feel this contraction. But if I am more feeling like a personality, like a person, maybe, oh, then I feel this, and I can still somehow locate it in the space
Okay,
where this
let's
feeling is.
locate that feeling. Yeah,
Okay.
where's this feeling of separateness?
So interestingly, it is not in the body.
Where is it?
It is. I feel it's just outside. Let's say to my right side, my head height, somewhere there.
Let's look
And,
there. What's there?
so as I mentioned, it's
Yeah.
feeling like some kind of energy contraction, but it's a contraction energy somewhat.
Okay. So how do you know what informs you that it's a feeling of separateness?
Okay. uh, Maybe because it appears when um, how to say, trying to consciously locate how is this feeling of separateness feeling, you know, how I feel it, how I find it in myself, let's say. And then it appears. I see, oh, okay, this is still here. I feel it.
Okay, let's look at that. Feel it. Feel it. And say, and what are you? Just curious. What are you? What are you?
I don't know. It feels like it says I'm remainance. Remainance. I don't know how it's in English. Of this feeling of separateness for me.
Okay.
Reminder. I don't know. Yeah.
Reminds. Something that remains after.
Yeah.
And say, and what do you want?
uh, I just want to be seen, it says, you know.
Okay. I'll tell it I see you.
Um, I see you, and also I can also feel that it is a little bit unpleasant, but yeah, I see you. Yeah.
I see you. Are you that sensation?
No.
And what is the sensation separate from?
What it is separate from?
Yes.
I don't know, it's in the space. So it's kind of in the space.
It's not outside of life, outside of space.
No, no,
Mm-hmm.
it's inside.
So how can it be separate?
uh, yeah, it feels more like an idea of separateness, maybe.
Here we go. There's an idea of separateness, some imagined sensation, but when you start looking, there's nothing at all that informs about anything being separate from the whole.
Yeah, it is in, not somewhere outside.
Right.
Well, welcome then. Yeah.
Welcome home. You belong.
Oh, it's so nice I feel like it's very nice to hear for it that it is belonging here. That I'm not trying somehow to get rid of it.
Yeah, tell it you can be here as you are. I see you.
And even if you don't feel very pleasant, still you're welcome to be here.
Oh, you know why it feels not pleasant? It's because it's contracted energy, or squeezed, or somehow locked or stuck, like a scar, you know? So we can invite it to come back to its natural size. Say, oh, show me your natural size. What are you in your natural size? How much space do you want today? There's enough space for you.
Yeah, I feel it's a radical change of my attitude because I'm very friendly now towards this energy. And
But it can expand and come back to its
yeah,
most comfortable state.
and I feel it wants to expand actually.
Okay. So welcome to self-adjust. You're free.
Mm. And it's quite huge.
Mm.
So that's filling up the space happily, I guess. The whole space.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can feel this delight of, let's say, of that energy that it can expand so vastly and feel at home. And also it feels like it's integrating into, in a sense that it was, I could locate it, but now it's hard to locate because it feels like it's gone for the space everywhere.
Yeah. So now this, what is a feeling of a separate self?
Yeah, I don't feel it.
Yeah, it's there until it's
Everything.
looked at,
Hmm.
but it's misidentified energy.
Hmm. Hmm. And it was contracted. Somehow I didn't feel well.
Yeah, because it was misidentified.
Hmm.
So it's best to ask it, what are you? And let it tell you. Rather than, oh, this is the separate self. This is a feeling of a separate self. What are you?
Mm-hmm. And you are welcome.
You're welcome to be.
Yeah, it feels very healing, this space of welcome space. I don't know how it goes. Um, it allowed this contracted energy to expand and take its natural shape, which is as I feel it, huge actually, and it was so contracted.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. It feels even like there's more silence somehow at the same time.
Right. Yeah. Because that contraction there is it's noisy.
Mm.
It's like a noise. When it opens up, it's no more noise.
Mm. And also more, I can feel more peace, which means that it's less tension, I guess, as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yay.
Wow, wonderful. Thank you.
Welcome.
I really feel.
Can I ask you another question, Ilona?
Yes, yes. Please, please.
When I have an argument with my daughter, instead of going like really down, where do I put my attention instead of just following and going really down?
It's not a simple question.
Is it possible to like self-heal in the moment, or is that
Okay, let's say like this. If you have some time for yourself and you look into all these dynamics and what's going on and patterns and feelings on your own by yourself or with somebody, and when energies resolve, then the next situation with your daughter is going to reflect that. But in the moment, if there is an argument and the old pattern is on, is activated, it's playing out, it's just playing out. We need to have a lot of awareness to stop it or change it in the moment.
yes, it's very difficult.
But that awareness is available when you look into these issues by yourself before that happens. It's like programming, live action, programming, live action, programming, live action. And the live action lets you to see how much the programming has changed. Because everything in that live action is unconscious, going on unconscious. Automatically. There's no manual ruling there. There's no choice there. It's like a button is pressed, these words come out. Button is pressed, these words come back. That's the fight. Like one wound is fighting another wound. What can hurt more? In that, there is no healing. The healing comes after. That's the re-hurting, reactivating the pain. But the healing is after. Like after the argument, how do you feel when you think about your daughter? Or when you think about what was said? How do you
No,
feel?
it's more that I feel I don't like the experience I feel in myself. Or not what she's saying and what I'm saying. It's more like I don't like the experience, but I just want to get rid of it.
Right? So you start from that, acknowledging that I don't like the experience and I want to get rid of it. That's the starting point. I want to get rid of it. Now, what do you want to get rid of? Precisely.
Yeah.
What's not allowed?
The feeling, I feel bad that I cannot handle that I have the bad experience, that I cannot have an argument without getting this feeling. It's not what she says to me, that doesn't matter, or what I say. It's more like, it's, yeah, experience of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but the experience is not asking you if you like it or not, can it come or not? It's there. It happened.
Yes, it happens, and I don't accept it.
Right. So there is an experience, there is an event, and there is a relationship with that event. I don't like it. It shouldn't be happening. I hate
Yes, it
myself.
shouldn't be happening. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that relationship is where you're looking at for that experience, because that experience, it happened. Now, how is it going to be internalized in a positive way or in a negative way? That's the relationship. In a negative way is the self-thought. How wrong I am, why is this happening to me? This shouldn't be happening. There's something wrong with me, or there's something wrong with her. I don't like this. This is negative internalization through what you hear, the voice in the head. But it can also be a positive one. Same event happened, but that event brought something up that needs to be looked at, and it's here. It's already here. That means it's ready to heal. And with that, you can access that wound, just letting it be. Okay, it doesn't feel good. So what? A wound is a wound. It
Yeah.
doesn't feel good. Of course, it doesn't feel good. It's painful. It's horrible. But it's okay. It's okay to go in there. It's okay to give it attention. And that's the way out. Oh, I don't accept it. I don't want to accept it. So what? It wants your attention. So how long are you going to resist it, giving it attention? Or take your responsibility in charge of how you feel. Sometimes this anger, okay, it's a quick energy, it's a powerful energy, and it has a lot of potential to change the situations, to change, bring it, change it. Like bomb, bomb, anger, you say something you need to say, and situation changes after that. But if it's not that, if it comes in the body and stays in the body, and you feel angry or upset or drained for a week or longer, that means it's poison.
It's more like it stays.
Yeah.
Fear and everything, and it stays for quite a long time.
Yeah, but that's poison.
Yeah.
Now, if you drink poison, do you think anyone else gets hurt by that? No. So why do you drink poison?
Exactly.
So knowing that it's not helping, it's easier to look at it and see what it wants. Maybe it just wants to be seen, acknowledged, recognized. As simple as that. Mostly it's that. Maybe it wants to go.
Yeah, hopefully.
Right. But that's the thing, that's the work. That's the in between the events. What happens in between the events? Because if that anger is not here, then somebody else can say whatever they like. It's not going to come up because it's empty of anger. There's no anger. If that anger is here, if that poison is there, somebody says something and it arises, then you know you got it inside of you.
Yes.
So what do you want to do with that poison?
Get it out.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes to that. Yes to bringing it up. Let's invite it now. If you think of the argument and feel whatever you're feeling with it. You got it? Where is it in your system? Where is it?
In the chest.
Okay.
Stomach, chest.
Mhm. Now you see that energy. It's not you. You are seeing it. Tell it, I see you. I acknowledge you're here. You're allowed. You're welcome. You can be. And tell me or show me, what do you want the most? You ask that energy. What do you want the most? I'm curious.
It's just quiet.
Quiet. Let's be quiet with it. Just seeing it, feeling it. Yeah.
That's good.
Hmm? How's that energy?
It's like floating over.
Float. Ah, okay, just in case it wants or waiting for a permission or invitation, so you have full permission to self-adjust. I invite you to self-adjust. Come back to your natural state, natural size, natural form, natural function, natural meaning the most comfortable, that works in harmony with the whole systems. A true form. Come back home. Welcome home.
Yeah, that's better. Welcome home than instead of I want it just to go away.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ron.
And just before you go, think about your daughter and the argument again. Just think about them. Is that energy flaring up, responding the same?
Little bit in the chest, but very little.
So acknowledging that. Yeah, welcome home to you. You can be.
Like many years of falling off.
Acknowledging that. Yes, many years. And your daughter doesn't need to change for you to be comfortable.
Mm.
My tail is back. Oh no. Hmm. Little thing. Okay, well, thank you everyone. It's always wonderful to be with a group. And I just want to say that next Wednesday, I'm releasing a special episode in my podcast on YouTube and on all the platforms, and it's going to be with Pamela Wilson. So I recommend to listen to our talk. She's someone that inspired me for this work, and she shares her secrets or her tip how she meets everything, and it's wonderful.
Thank you, Ilona.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ilona.
Thank you. Bye for now.